Swamiji, Sabarimala has been a very big controversy in recent times. Tell me what is the background, for the sake of listeners, what is the background to Sabarimala philosophy and practice, the vrat of brahmacharya being taken by the deity, and why that has resulted, why it is an important thing to impose certain regulations on male versus female worship. What is the background and history of this? And then the strange thing is that when the Supreme Court ruled against tradition, I would say, and the Kerala government ruled against the tradition of the temple, actually it's the women who complained. Yeah. Even though the allegation was that this whole tradition is anti-women, yeah, it's the women who wanted to protect the tradition. So I want to understand, I think it would be nice if viewers can know your views on this.
See, Sabarimala is a very complex topic. Actually, those who say the tradition is against women or the right of women, they do not know anything about Sabarimala. And the controversies connected with Sabarimala is not a new thing. In 1950, Sabarimala temple was fully distracted, burned. The main idols were broken. Temple attacked and burnt, set up to fire. And there was a commission appointed by the government to inquire into the incident. And even now, after 69 years, the report submitted by the DIG of those days, Kesava Menon, it is still in the cold storage. It is not published.
Oh, really?
Really, yeah. And after that, Puna Pradishtha was done and the renovation works were carried out. And people started going there in thousands and thousands, and slowly it increased to lakhs and now to crores. So on an average, more than 50 million people are visiting there.
Every year?
Every year. And that became a tool, so we can say, to the awakening of our Hindu Dharma. And there is one special thing you have to understand about Sabarimala. It is not a temple just to visit and worship. To visit or to go to Sabarimala, you must have a vrata for 41 days. So 41 days vrata means a complete change will happen in your lifestyle, in your thought pattern, and you are making yourself as a celibate. Or see, there is one more thing I have to add. When you are getting yourself ready for that visit, you are called Ayyappa, Swami. That the devotee is becoming the Lord himself.
So he is transforming.
He is transforming.
He is cleaning himself,
yeah,
reinventing his whole body, lifestyle,
yeah,
everything
everything
as a preparation for 41 days
41
before he goes there.
Yeah. So this tremendous change, the Hindus who were in darkness earlier, through this practice, through this austerity, they are awakening, they are becoming aware of our dharma, that tapasya slowly comes into their life. That means conversions, there is a big question mark for those who are doing conversion and all.
So they are very upset at the success of the Sabarimala.
That is why that destruction occurred in 1950. And after that, in 1980s, near Sabarimala, some cross came all on a sudden, and it was said that cross belongs to Saint Thomas of
Right.
first century.
Right.
And this cross of first century appearing in the 20th century.
Right.
So then some sort of awakening came in the Hindu community, and we fought for that, and we succeeded in removing that from that area. And after that, one after another, so many problems, so many talks, so many things happened. And as a culmination, in 2006, a team from Delhi-based organization, they do not know what Sabarimala is, where it is, what are the practices there, why such practices are there. They do not know practically nothing about Sabarimala. They filed a suit in the Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court, in 2006, saying the practice in Sabarimala is against the fundamental right of women to worship, and it is against the equality which is provided or which is guaranteed in the Constitution of India. And of course, Supreme Court admitted that, and it was there till 2017. And in 2017, Supreme Court gave that to the Constitutional Bench. And after 1 year deliberations, the Constitution Bench of Honorable Supreme Court gave the judgment on September 28, allowing women of all age group to enter Sabarimala temple. See, that practice was there from time immemorial. That ladies of menstruating age group, it is not many understand 10 to 50, no. Of the menstruating age group are not allowed to enter Sabarimala.
Right.
And of course, women, men also, those who do not have 41 days vow, that celibacy and vrata, they are not supposed to enter Sabarimala. That was the practice, or that is the practice which is coming from time immemorial. And it is believed Lord Ayyappa himself, before attaining Mahasamadhi, instructed the king of Pantala. These are the practices to be observed in my place. He instructed. So it is not a case, it is not a practice to be changed according to the whims and fancies of leaders or the so-called secular government or secular court. It is a practice, and that practice comes from the belief that Lord Ayyappa himself instructed. So it is there, it was there.
So the agama, the procedures, the ritual procedures require this.
Yeah.
The ritual procedure
It requires.
Right. So that is the spiritual argument.
Yeah.
But there is also a secular argument I can give in favor of the practice. Secular argument would be that you are the owner of a property, it's your house, you can make the rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
That I am coming to that.
Yeah, because it is not the government gave land and the secular government gave land. This is a land built by the tradition. The people have supported it, given donations. They are supporting this with they are maintaining it with their keep, and so they are entitled to the practices, the rules, what they want.
Yeah. See, a temple basically is devalaya. It is not a place of worship.
It's a residence.
Of course, we are worshipping. That is secondary aspect.
Right.
The first aspect is temple is a devalaya. Alaya means a board, a home,
Yes.
a house.
The home of the Deva.
It is the home of the Deva.
Right.
It is the house or the abode of that particular Devata.
Right.
So the primary right, Devata has the primary right.
Right.
Not those persons who are going there.
Yeah.
It is not a picnic spot.
Yeah.
So the
here,
tradition.
So here I want to explain to our readers,
Yeah.
in the sense of Purva Paksha with Abrahamic religions.
Yeah.
When you, in the Abrahamic religions, God does not come and live in the church. He does not. Church is a place where you worship the God who lives in the sky, in the heaven. The mosque is not claiming that this is where Allah lives. In fact, Allah doesn't live in the world. Allah lives outside the world. The mosque is a gathering place where you come together with other Muslims and you worship the Allah somewhere else. Now that idea has been superimposed on Hindu thought Hindu deities incorrectly. Because in our case, it is not a temple, as you said, is not a gathering place where you come and worship. It is primarily a place where the deity lives. The deity is physically present in that place. And so therefore, to say that the deity is just a place where you worship and anybody can come, you can worship, I can also worship, the basic flaw is not understanding that this is different than the Abrahamic religions' idea of a house of worship, their idea.
Yeah, you can worship from your home as you like.
Right.
In the way you want.
Right.
But the temple is not that.
Yeah.
Temple is the house of the Lord, and you can go as He allows. So
This is very important. You can go as He allows because
Yes.
it's His home.
yeah,
It's
it is His home.
Yeah.
And in almost all temples, especially in Kerala, you see, Kerala we have a special tantric temple culture or structure. Kerala means not the present days linguistic Kerala. Tantric Kerala begins from Kanyakumari and it is up to Mukambika, Kollur Mukambika temple. That Tantric Kerala have its own practices. Temples have their own special worship patterns. So, in a temple in Kerala, the Tantri, who is the Acharya, he will fix what sort of practices we have to follow here, what type of rituals we have to do. He is the Adhikari, he is the man who fixes that. And according to that, so many varied practices are there, so many types of practice. For example, I am bringing to your notice, even though sannyasins are not temple worshippers, entry of a sannyasin into a temple is considered most auspicious. That is considered most auspicious. But there is a temple in Kerala, Payyanur Subramanya Swami temple, where no sannyasins are allowed to enter. No sannyasins can enter. Nobody is allowed there. If some sannyasins goes, it is against the custom, it is against the tradition, it is against the belief.
So, sannyasins being the monastics, the people who've renunciated, who entered sannyas, considered very advanced in their journey, as per the rules of a particular temple, they wouldn't be allowed, but that's what the rules are.
Yeah.
And they follow the rules.
Yeah. We are following.
Yeah.
And there is one temple, Mannarshala. There, always the head priest is a woman. No man is supposed to do puja there. So, we are not going against the temple and we are bringing allegation, it is gender discrimination, it is discrimination against men. No, it is the custom there, it is the practice there, it is embedded in the history. So many aspects are there, from time immemorial it is coming. So, that practice should be preserved.
Yes.
Because Hindu Dharma is having that it is not a monotonous or linear religion.
Yes. Yes.
Diversity is there.
Yes.
Diversity.
Yes.
And there is a unity.
Yes.
So, come back to Sabarimala, it is the practice from time immemorial. Women of the menstruating age group are not going there. They don't want to go there.
Right.
And instead, they are worshipping Lord Ayyappa. There are so many temples, hundreds, thousands of temples are there where Lord Ayyappa is there.
Yeah.
So, they can go to those temples.
Right.
In the case of Sabarimala, a special type of celibacy, self-imposed vow, Ayyappa is observing. And according to that Naishtika Brahmacharya Vrata of Lord Ayyappa, women of the menstruating age group are not going there. It is the practice. So, when Supreme Court or the secular government is trying to break the tradition, believers are wounded.
Yes.
The feeling of not men, not women, all believers, their inner heart is bleeding.
So, basically the real issue is secular constitution versus tradition.
Yeah,
that's what it
secular
is.
constitution attacking
Attacking
our belief.
Yeah, and I would say that this constitution has to go. this particular constitutional application of the constitution in this manner has to be stopped.
Yes.
Because the Supreme Court does not have the adhikar to do this.
Yeah.
Supreme Court has to honor it is not ruled like the British were ruling over us. It is not that the Supreme Court is now the Raja and they are ruling over us. The land and the belongs to the people, and this is their tradition. And this is so the Supreme Court is the one that is obsolete or kind of disconnected with the truth.
When you say Supreme Court, I want to add one more sentence to that. Honorable Justice Indu Malhotra, she wrote the judgment
in support of the tradition.
In a dharmic way.
Yes, yes.
So it was a majority judgment.
Yes, yes. It was the majority judges who were the culprits.
Yeah,
and you know, the other thing is, when a court, secular courts all over the world, certainly in the United States, when they are evaluating a case which is very technical, they bring technical experts. So let's say they are evaluating a case about some nuclear reactor or something, they'll bring nuclear experts. Or if they or something about medicine, some very technical case, they'll bring doctors and bring medical scientists. In this case, Supreme Court should have brought the adhikaris, the acharyas, the gurus who know about Sabarimala history and its whole tradition. They should have brought them as subject matter experts to get educated. That required some humility.
Yeah.
That said, okay, maybe we are judges who know the law and we're wearing all those funny wigs and clothes and we have all the power, but notwithstanding that, we have to be humble enough and bring the sadhus, the sannyasis, the real acharyas to educate us on what is this tradition all about. They never did that.
There is one more thing I have to add. There is a disparity. See, the case of Ayodhya, Ram Mandir came to honorable court. The court put one Muslim judge in that panel. But in the case of Sabarimala, all the judges in that bench, nobody was there who knows about Sabarimala.
Not one practitioner from that tradition.
One man or woman from Kerala. Because the speciality of Sabarimala temple, they do not know. There was no such a judge in that panel. So that is not good at all. And you cannot press the constitutional morality to the common morality. Because common morality is there, it came from thousands and thousands of years, belief, practices, systems, customs and all.
And this is a clash of civilizations, because this is a very Western idea brought into the Constitution to impress the world that we become a nation state in the eyes of the West. That is what the Nehru, these guys did. And it is really westernized modernity versus the Bharat tradition that is going on. And this case is one of those cases.
Of course.
And this doesn't mean that to be a Bharatiya you have to be anti-modernity. We can be modern in our own way. Because we have a tradition of science, we have a tradition of technology, we have a tradition of internal debate, dissent, argumentation, creating new smritis. We can do all that, we can change, but it is not something that has to be imposed from outside.
Change must come from within.
Yes.
And if you observe the Hindu system, always it adapted to requirements from time to time.
Right.
The change came from within, always.
But this is a Supreme Court which is colonized.
Yeah.
This is a colonization of the Supreme Court.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Good. So we are, I hope this is an important source of knowledge that Swamiji has brought, and I really thank you for this, because this is a very important, this episode, this topic that you've clarified, I think is very important, and thank you very much.
Namaste, namaste.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here and also hit the bell icon to make sure you get notified. To donate, please click this button.